Hello, and welcome to this HelloID provisioning product release video for July 2022. HelloID provisioning is a 100% born-in-the-cloud, easy-to-configure and maintain user provisioning solution. It helps organizations to fully automate the user lifecycle management in the network by connecting the HR or SIS as a source system. Every change in this source is detected and processed into the network. No more worries about stale user accounts, accumulation of licenses and access rights, manual user management, or compliancy issues. Please note that in this video, we will only show the new functionality for the July 2022 release. Please go to docs.helloid.com or our YouTube channel for more videos. Let's get started. In this video, we'd like to start with a PowerPoint presentation and then demo the new functionalities for the July 2022 release. We have two new items in this release. Support up to 30,000 persons. With this release, we support up to 30,000 persons in the vault of a single HelloID tenant. With this change, some of the previously defined limits have also been changed. We now support a maximum of 100 contracts per person, which used to be a limit of 20 contracts. An important note on this is that we still have a maximum average of 30 contracts per person, which depends on the total amount of data coming from the source for each person. For example, some persons can have 100 contracts assigned, but overall most persons will only have 10 contracts. In this case, we support the average of 30 contracts per person. Another improvement on this feature is that we now support up to 200,000 accounts in the correlation report, which used to be a maximum of 25,000. In doing this, we've made a big step forward in supporting much larger customer Active Directory environments. The second new item is Source Connector audit log information in Elastic. We now support audit log information of source systems inside Elastic, from which a report will be available this release, containing information about when a report was started, if it started manually or automatically, or even the state of an import. This data will also be available for a longer period of time because the data will be stored in Elastic. This information can also be used to analyze the duration of import states when a new release of HelloID is available. Let's get started with a short demo of this release's new features. Our first stop is a new user right related introduced in this release, which is related to the Provisioning Application Manager. It can be found under the General Security settings of HelloID by opening up roles and search for provisioning. Under Rights, you now have the option to enable the Manage role for provisioning. Before, a user had to be a member of the admin role to gain access to provisioning, but with the introduction of this new right, it can now be scoped to provisioning. Our next new item is the Import Cancel state, which before was already available on the state of a snapshot, but now it's also available for the import itself. So you no longer get a failed state, but you will see that this import is being canceled. In case there are multiple imports running and only one of them is being canceled, the active one still continues to run. Another change we made in this release is because when importing a PowerShell system, we see a lot of unrelated logging. So we have now put a limit on this, which only allows a maximum of 100 messages per one import. This type of match could only contain warning and error messages, so only these types of messages are kept in the logging. Any other messages, like the rights for those messages, for example, will not be shown in the logging during a scheduled run anymore. In case a manual run is being executed, most of these limits will not be applied, and a limit up to 100,000 messages is allowed inside the log. This change is related to support separate logging for each customer, so in case one customer did a lot of logging, the amount of log data could basically interfere with the log of another customer, and it could result in the loss of log records for this customer. It's also good to mention that when a process is executed using an on-premise agent, all of the information is still available in the local stored agent log file, but won't be shown in the UI of HelloID anymore. The last item we changed is the enforcement overview, in which we now show the state of an enforcement. This is mostly applicable to longer running systems. This one was really quick, but the process will indicate about the state, so about the evaluation and rules, creating the resources, or enforcing the actions, and to give more insight about the state the process is in. Thank you so much for watching. Please let us know if you have any additional questions. You can post your question in YouTube or send it to isupport@toolsforever.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel to receive frequent updates about improvements and changes in HelloID. Have a wonderful day.